Hi everybody, my name is Johanna and most of you know me as Massage by Johanna. Normally I would have my massage chair up for New Orleans Pagan Pride Day, but however, given the COVID climate of today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about Santa Muerte, the folk saint of Mexico. Now, first and foremost, I am not an expert. I follow her. But the main thing to remember within the Santa Muerte cult, it is as divided as it is united. No one can really agree on the proper way to follow her. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the traditional Catholic roots of Santa Muerte. And we can definitely take that back to, well, death has always been around since life. Let's get that first and foremost. But the first markings are written transcriptions of actually calling her Santa Muerte can be dated back to the late 1700s from the Spanish clergy. Now from there, they took her the La Parca version of death, which was the Spanish version, and brought her over to the Americas. Well, of course, the indigenous peoples took it and made it their own thing, and it grew from there. Now, she does also present an Aztec origins. Now, that is a whole different thing than what I follow. So, where it splits off is when she gets taken into Mexico and the Mexican people grab onto her. Well, they grab onto her Catholic roots. And that's where it started coming up, and she made her home in Mexico. So when I follow her from the Mexican tradition, and that requires that I honor her Mexican roots. I have to respect that she is the Queen of Mexico. Some say Guadalupe is, but Santa Muerte is definitely up there. So another thing, people call her a narco saint. That comes from the FBI breaking into some of these cartels where they're housing their dope, and of course they have shrines of Santa Muerte. Most of these cartels are Spanish. They're Mexican. So of course they're going to have shrines to Santa Muerte. That's where she starts getting muddy and a bad rap. Because as the CIA and the FBI started coming in on these drug cartels, they started tying her in with, she's a narco saint. That may be true because it's Mexicans that they're targeting with that. However, that is not at all what is at the core of Santa Muerte. She's not asking you for blood sacrifice. That's a large misconception. Now, maybe if you're following the Aztec roots, I'm not saying that there aren't people who wouldn't. But the path that I follow and the tradition that I follow, she does not require blood sacrifice. She's not the boogeyman. She's not the devil or a demon. Santa Muerte is about acceptance and tolerance. Death is going to come for us all. So it's about as neutral as you can get. She is huge in the LGBTQ community. She is all about benevolence. She is all about helping one another in a time of need. It's about being brothers and sisters. For example, if we have a hurricane down here, it's really my duty to help my fellow man any way that I can. And Santa Muerte supports that. And she's also very, she loves family. She loves family. She believes that family is a big deal. And she's part of my family, and I treat her as part of my family. I'm raising my kids in this tradition, so there's a place on the altar specifically for the kids. And they love her. And it's funny to watch them interact with this saint, this angel, this archangel of death, and know that most people are like, oh my goodness, Santa Muerte, she's gonna come and kill you in your sleep. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. You're in the necromancy. You're trying to raise. That's not how any of this works. She is just as much for reaching out to the poor and the families that need help. She's really big in protecting. She's very vigilant protecting her devotees. Anyone who is truly devoted to her understands that if you have that connection with her, your family is protected, your friends are protected, your community, just your sense of community, by accepting people who are different from you. She's all about accepting people who are different. There's no high priestess. If anybody tells you that they're a high priestess for Santa Muerte or a high priest, you just tell them to come by the Witch Depot and see me, because that's not how this works. Everybody is on a level playing field. Nobody is more or less. Some people may be able to work with her more than you can, but that's because they might have been working with her for 20 or 30 years, as opposed to however long you've been working with her. And there's lots of things you can do with her to help heal. She is really known about healing. There's 3 robes. You have La Blanca, which is white, La Roja, which is red, and you have La Negra, which is black. Now, yes, all 3 of those have their own functions and their own things, but when you come to La Blanca, you can really work on healing yourself. You can work on healing your community. She's the old grandmother in the kitchen, that's letting you know how it needs to be because you're not getting it right. There's a lot of meditation involved with her. Communication, you can really work on your communication and your tolerance through her. La Roja, that's another thing, we think of her as just only for love work, but she's for so much more. And I have prayed with her and done work with her to help my family and my friends. I've done things for my friends to help them, because it's something that's to be shared. I've asked La Negra to protect certain people. I've asked her to protect me from certain things. I'm not gonna lie, but I wasn't standing there like, oh, great Santa Muerte, and start slitting the throats of goats either. That's a big misleading thing with her. So you can do so much with each of the robes of Santa Muerte. You can work on your community. You can work on yourself. You can work on your love life for sure. I'm not saying that you can't go to La Roja and not do some fantastic love spell work. But I think it's really been important to me since I have started following Santa Muerte for the last 3 years, that she's so opposite of what everybody thinks. She's more about unity. She's not about division. She's not about destruction. She's death. Why would you even need to, do her job for her? I think she could manage just fine without us. So that kind of that cracks me up a little bit. But at the end of the day, she has taught me to be a better person. She has taught me to be a better mother. She has taught me how to be more united with my community, my family, my friends. She's helped me with my career. She's helped me with my life. And I think because she has entered into my life, she's made me a more rounded individual than I probably could ever be. So, when you think about her, or if death is even like this thing that just is an attractive thing, just know when you come to her, you're coming to somebody that's completely, she's not judgmental like that. Only thing she's concerned with, pretty much at the end of the day, is that when your number is up, if she's cutting that cord. But everything that you do until that time, that's what her scales are about. I mean, let's start there. So if you're a hateful person and you hate your neighbor and you hate what somebody else has because you don't have it, those scales are going to be tipped one day. And I think sometimes people don't understand, you know, that's what her scales stand for. So if you come through life with all this drama and malice and just hating to hate, you don't want those scales to not tip in your favor. So I think it's important when you come to her that you understand that. She will make you a better person, or she will let you know you probably should be a better person, because it's not going to be fun. I do have some books though. Some are better than others, and books, like anything else, are just a place to start. There's two by Sophia DiGiorgio, or however you say her name. I hate that I butchered that on camera, but it'll be alright. So, these weren't really for me, but they may be for somebody else out there. Thomas Prower. Now, I really do like him. You can get a little bit of history on Santa Muerte and how she became the folk saint of Mexico. And that, you know, once again, we're blessed that Santa Muerte will allow us gringas and gringos to work with her, you know, because you're taking somebody else's spirituality from another culture, people. So let's remember that whenever we're studying her. It's very, very important that we remember she is the folk saint of Mexico, not America. She's been brought to us by the Mexicans. So shout out to all of my Mexican people out there. And then there's Andrew Chestnut, Devoted to Death. That's a big one running around that everybody reads. Tells a lot about the history of her. You'll get more in Thomas Prower's, where he talks about what the actual colors of her robes and her 7 colors and all that means. So that's really all I have to say about Santa Muerte today. It's a very vast subject. You can get really deep into it, but yeah, I don't have that much time today. So thanks everybody. Support your local businesses, your PPD. Don't forget Valhalla and Vittles with Adam Moose, and the Witch Depot with Lindy Murphy, and all of our other pagan shops out there, guys. Have a great day.